Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville, and we're here to talk about Doctor Who, Season 2, Episode 3, The Well. But first, let me tell you a story. Anyone who knows me knows I don't do scary movies. Which is ironic because I seem to have seen quite a few of them. But I think it's because in my youth, I just kept trying to tell myself I would let into a little bit of that peer pressure to be around certain people, or, especially a girl who likes scary movies. I was like, well, I'll watch it with you. But I guess it's not sexy. It's not cool if she's watching a scary movie and she's cool, and I'm the one screaming like a little girl with a skinned knee. So, that relationship ain't gonna work out. I remember watching the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Scared the hell out of me. Because the one thing that I started to understand, one of the reasons why some of those slasher films and things like that didn't bother me is because, most of the people in them couldn't fight. I've been whooping ass for a long time. And I might be vintage and fluffy. I ain't get the job done. Now, I ain't got 10 rounds or none of those stupid shit, but, you're gonna get an impressive 60 seconds. The first 30 seconds is gonna be amazing. That last 30 seconds, call it EMS. But in all those scary movies, you had to go to where those people was to get killed by them. If you went to Haddonfield, Illinois, who gonna kill you? Say it with me, folks. Michael Myers. If you went to Camp Crystal Lake, who's gonna kill you? Say it with me, congregation. Jason Voorhees. Most of the killers in the movies, you had to go where they were at to get killed by them. You want to get killed by Malachi in them? Well, you had to pull up in the town that didn't have no adults, and it was the children of the corn. Seems like the worst place to have a flat tire. I don't know. Even if Candyman was going to get you, well, you had to be in Cabrini Greens. You had to be in the heart of Chicago. Hell, Cabrini Greens ain't even there no more. They didn't tore that down. That don't mean that little buddy still ain't there, but I ain't trying to play with that. But Freddy? Now, there was a particular town that he was attached to, and the Elm Street, and the lore of Freddy Krueger that burnt his house down, and because they thought he was a pedo. But the thing about Freddy, what made him scary to me, the little boy watching the movie, was all you had to do was go sleep, and he came in your dreams. And he did horrible, horrible things to you. Did y'all see what he did to Johnny Depp in that movie? Johnny Depp thought he was cute till his damn blood is flying all over the place. He messed that boy up. That was not 21 Jump Street, I tell you that. I remember watching that movie, scared the shit out of me. He even got somebody was daydreaming. They were daydreaming at school. And they went down in the boiler room, and Freddy's monk ass was down there, and I watched that movie and stayed awake for 2 weeks. I was taking no-dos and putting toothpicks in my eyes. Hell no, I'm not gonna sleep. Because Freddy gonna get me. And because it was the dream world, it was his world, he was in control, and I was not about that life. So how do you conduct yourself when fear has completely gripped you and taken you over? Let's talk about it. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, new from the Ville, and we're here to talk about Doctor Who, Season 2, Episode 3, The Well. And I'm going to call this particular media therapy deep dive Past Midnight. The Doctor and Belinda find themselves on a spaceship, and they get out, and they're in these little space suits. They find out that they still can't get into Earth for whatever reason, so they end up here. They are 500,000 years, 500,000 years in the future. They end up on a spaceship. When they step out of the TARDIS, everybody in the little suits, they put on these helmets, they open some doors, and everybody jumps. So they make Belinda and the Doctor jump out of the spaceship into space. What? They land on the planet. The Doctor does his thing and quickly takes over the situation, says he's the man in charge, or he's sent from corporate and he wants to find out some stuff. And the lady who's in charge, she says that they are strip mining this planet, stripping it for the carbon-46. And they've been stripping mining it for a while, but for whatever reason, they have lost all contact with the 35 people who are inside the mining facility. So they're going in there to see what the hell happened. It is giving a very strong Aliens with the S, the second one, Aliens vibe. You got all these space marines going to this abandoned mining facility on this barren, desolate planet that allegedly nothing is on. You can hear the music. You can hear it. You know something's here. Monsters gonna jump out, eat people's ass. Like, it's gonna be bad. Monsters just gonna be in there barbecuing on people like, that was good. Anyway, they get in the mining facility. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead. But how they were killed is strange, because some people were strangled, personally attacked, assaulted. Some people were shot with lasers. All the mirrors in the place are broken. It's real weird. And then one of them, Mo, she's got a little device that senses a heartbeat. So they go to where this one person's left. And this is one lady. She's sitting in there on a box by herself. Her name is Alice Finley. She said that she's been alone for 15 days. And she said that she killed one girl that's not too far from her. That was her best friend. She killed her because she had to. She had no choice. The old girl was going to kill her. So it's kill or be killed. She took her out. So all the space marines with their guns, they got them drawn on her. They ready to fire because they're like, listen, what is the deal? We find out that Alice is deaf and she is using British. I don't know why I did this. I don't even know sign language, but she's using British sign language. And yes, that is different. And I'm sorry, I'm one of those people too. I knew of ASL, which is American Sign Language. But why would it be American Sign Language? These people ain't American? Duh. So they're treating Alice, trying to figure out what happened. The Doctor and some of the other people go off to the main control room to see if they can figure out what happened. And Belinda, she sees something behind Alice, but when they look again, it's not there. And she sees it again. But then another trooper sees it. And everybody's starting to kind of freak out because they're like, we see something pop out behind her. But then when we look behind her, there's nothing there. Like, what the hell is going on? And one of the guards, one of the people, they go around behind Alice for whatever reason. And next thing you know, their body is thrown 30 feet in the air and thrown to their death. And everybody's freaking out at this point. Now, in the control room, the Doctor and the commander found a recording where people are in here freaking out. And they say, we don't know what it is. And something is in the facility. Something is responsible. Somebody's responsible for killing everybody. One of the guys, Trooper Cassio, he's a young, hothead jackass. He gets frustrated with the commander because the commander keeps listening to the Doctor, and he's like, this dude's a civilian. The Doctor had figured out when he was talking to the commander, he said, wait a minute. He said, what is the name of this planet? And she said, it's 6677 or something like that. 7676. And he said, no, what was the real name of the planet? And she said, well, yeah, when the star blew up that was running this planet or keeping this planet viable. The name of the planet 400,000 years ago was called Midnight. Y'all know Midnight. We've been here before. Season 3. It was on the train, and no, season 4. Season 4. We were on the train, and the entity got on the train and jumped into people like John Carpenter's The Thing. And it took over the doctor for a while, and they was gonna kill his ass because they was like, well, you the monster, so you got to die. And they managed, one of the ladies, she managed to sacrifice herself and take the thing off of the train with her, because the outside, the surface of the planet was extremely toxic, and you'd die instantly. But it was one of those, it was one of the creepiest, a great episode. And David Tennant put on a masterful performance where you saw fear, abject fear in his eyes. So this episode is kind of the spiritual successor. So when Trooper Castiel wigs out, he gets people to move behind Alice. People start dying because we find out that the entity on the planet of Midnight, doesn't like anybody to be behind it. And if you get behind it, it kills your ass. Now, he's operating different than he did in the last time we saw him episode in season 4. And of course, I know when I'm saying season 4 and this is season 2, it's like, wait, how does that, the math ain't mathed. But technically, we're in season 15. So if that helps make any sense. The doctor figures out that one thing that the entity really doesn't like is its own reflection. It does not want to see itself. So the doctor has Shia shoot the pipe that has mercury, and the mercury comes down and forms a curtain that has a reflection. And the entity sees itself, it releases from Alice, she flies across the room, and they take off running. The problem is there's 7 of them, and the little lift that goes back to the ship is there, can only hold 6 people at a time. So 3 people get on the lift, they're gone. But by the time the time gets back to get the 4 of them that are left, which is Shia, Mo, Belinda, and the doctor, there's a loud boom, and the doctor says, can't nobody get on the lift because it's in here. They look around to each other, and it jumped on Belinda. The doctor ain't having that. You're not on my companion. So the doctor says, listen, take me. I'll be your huckleberry. Belinda don't want that. Shia's like, listen, I don't know nothing about no humans. I ain't never heard of them. I ain't never heard of a little raggedy planet called Earth. But are y'all built like whatever they people was? And he's like, yeah, sure. She's like, you know what? If I shoot her right here, like right above the heart, and I get it, if I'm, because I'm the best shot, and, you shoot womp rats on the back of my land speed on Tatooine type shit. She's like, it'll kill her, but it won't kill her. Y'all can bring her back to life, and that'll separate the entity from her. But if you do it, then that means the entity is going to jump on her. If you kill the person that's the host, then the entity jumps on the person who killed him. Shia's okay with that. That's her job, her duty as the commander. And then she takes off running. She's knees to chest. She runs back to the well and, Geronimo, and jumps in the well. And the doctor and Mo and Belinda leave. So Mo is putting in a report telling about Shia's bravery, all this stuff, and Cassio, I guess he was brave too. He's a dumbass, but he was brave. The doctor and Belinda leave. So another little girl's coming down the hallway, and she talks to Mo, and she's like, Mo says something about, all the stuff I used to think I know, I don't know anything. And then the girl that's looking at Mo stops and looks at her like, what the hell? And Mo turns and like, what? What? And it goes off. Did the entity actually die with Shia? Was there more than one? It's a great place to end the episode because it gives credence to there could be more of this later on. Fantastic episode. 10 out of 10. You know I love my quotes, and today I only have one. And it's from Les Brown, and he says, too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. You know, I understand. When I told that story at the beginning, I understand that it's irrational. A man that is my size and as experienced as I am at fighting and being able to defend myself and defend other people, why would I be scared of movies and situations and things that I know are not real? As far as I know, there's no damn demon named Michael Myers just walking around here real damn slow with a butcher knife over his head just waiting to stab up some people. As far as I know, there ain't no dude, last name Man, first name Candy. I know y'all saw what I did there. I don't play. I don't play. 4-5 times or whatever. I'm sure he ain't gonna show it with the bees and shit all coming out. I'm sure it's not gonna happen. Sure. I'm sure that there's no little doll in your house that's been taken over by demon spirits, whether it's Annabelle or Chucky's little monk ass. I'm sure that's not real. So why do these things scare us? Why do they scare me? Could it be a mental thing? I just don't enjoy scary movies. It's not enjoyable to me. I love action. I love science fiction. I love comedies, rom-coms, some good drama, suspense thrillers. I don't mind a good thriller. You know, I watched Get Out with Centel, and you can find that in his list of videos on his page, The Reaction. And I did a deep dive, so you can go into my videos and find a deep dive. Get Out is a psychological thriller. It's not a horror movie. I thought it was, and I never watched it, and then I did. And it was enjoyable. Probably would never watch it again, but glad I did, at least once. I just saw Sinners in the movie theater. Not normally what I would do. Even when they said there's vampires in this. What? For some reason, I like vampires though. I don't know, vampires, werewolves, I like that kind of shit. As long as it's not scary just to be damn scary. So I've seen a lot of, I've seen The Walking Dead and True Blood and, Twilight doesn't exist, that's some bullshit. Underworld series. So I've seen some things, but those aren't scary movies. And the thing is, scary doesn't even mean what it used to mean. There's gory. That's what they make now. Gory movies. But what do you do when fear really grips your life? Fear is debilitating. It's overwhelming. It takes your breath away. I had sleep paralysis once. I don't know. I want to say I was dreaming, but for at least 15 to 20 years, I don't dream. I am so exhausted. I am running my body at max, not efficiency, just max capacity. And by the time I hit the pillow, I pass out. I go to sleep every night from exhaustion. I also have, pretty bad sleep apnea because I'm so exhausted. Hell, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up. So my body is always like, just to make sure I don't stay out. It is not my time to go to the upper room. And I've been on the tubes and all that shit. So yes, and I've seen Joy Coy's bit about the CPAP machine, and it is hilarious. So I understand a part of it is my weight, part of it is it's a whole lot of things that I need to fix. But I hate that damn machine, hate it. Anyway, I once had a dream. And in this dream, I had an out-of-body experience. And I literally fought with a demon. He was there to get me. He was there. He's like, oh, I've been looking for you, partner. It's time to go. You going with me. Listen, you know when they say your life flashes before your eyes and, you know, you think that you have time to pray and ask for forgiveness and ask that the Lord just watch out for all the people that you care about? No, none of that. That demon had a grip on me, and all I had time to yell out was Jesus. But that's all I needed. And I just kept saying it over and over. Release me, you brigand, you peasant. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I belong to? You better get up off me, boy. You know, I think fear, it affects your mental. It affects your emotional. Now, that whole situation, was that real? I don't know if this is an episode of Supernatural or not, because I don't even dream. But I remembered all of that. I remember what I smelt. I remembered it was visceral. Scared the shit out of me. Like, damn near literally. Like, you know, I woke up and I got to go Bobo. I got to go bathroom. Yeah, it was bad. I was in there for a while. Definitely came out, said don't nobody go in there for 30, 45 minutes. Don't go in there. Anyway, we're gonna stop talking. Y'all keep leading me down the wrong track. Anyway, it's difficult to overcome fear. And see, and I may get fearful in these situations with movies, and I am fortunate that a lot of real life situations don't make me fearful. But there's a lot of people that walk their walk every day, and they're not at all afraid of some fake ass monsters in a movie, but they walk their everyday walk and live with fear. Maybe their boss is an asshole. Maybe the person who lives in their house with them is an absolute psychopath. And you walk on eggshells and you don't have peace in your own house. Very possible. Highly likely. Maybe you don't like driving on the highway. Maybe you don't like being out in the rain. Maybe you don't like being in crowds. Maybe you don't like the sound of loud noises. There's a lot of things out there that could really bother you and you could be fearful of. And unfortunately, with the pandemic and where everyone's sheltered in place and things like that, we have almost learned a new skill to be more isolationist than we ever were before. We shut it down, and now, like, even my job, once the pandemic hit, they went virtual. No more physical location. So everyone in my job works remotely. Well, that also means that I don't get outside and touch grass. I spend a large majority of every day right here. Now, not with you, but in front of a computer screen. And that's not good for my health. That's not good for my mental. That's not good for my spiritual. That's not good for my physical activity. I think I have sat all the tissue and muscle in my ass away. And I didn't have much anyway, because as I started to get more fluffy and my body started to spread, my ass spread too. So now it's just wide and flat. I ain't never had that before. Listen, we supposed to be talking about fear. Why are we talking about my ass? Y'all quit doing this. Y'all lead me down there. Stop it. See you. So listen, whatever your reason for fear is, we saw the doctor's fear. We saw it in David Tennant. We saw it in Shuti. We saw his fear. And there was an entity that caused him to fear. The most gripping, most debilitating fear that he ever felt. He said he'd never been that fearful. And even for Shuti, the only time we've seen him this scared was with the maestro and the entity on midnight. Real quick, how do you overcome your fears? If it's about you, accept your flaws. Accept that you're not perfect. We're all human. It is what it is. And I know that seems callous and it seems, short. But sometimes you can only control what you can control. A lot of things are what they are. And I said what I said. Make sure that you make time to meditate. That's different than praying. Praying, you are actively talking to your higher power. One, when you talk to your higher power, for real, you should be reverent, thankful, appreciative. You shouldn't follow that up with asking for shit. Don't say, yes, thank you for giving me life, allowing me to wake up today. Now, if you could just be so kind to give me the winning lottery numbers, I'd show no, shut your ass up. That ain't how it works. It would be nice if it did. But that ain't how it works. Meditating is different. You need to clear your mind. Things can't overwhelm you if they're not there. If you can fill your mind with positivity, the words that you speak, the words that you say over yourself, words have power. That's why when you learn the sequence of letters that make words, it's called spelling. Spell. Sound familiar? I mean, I ain't got to drop you off at Hogwarts to show you who Harry Potter is for you to know what a spell is. Spelling. Yeah, that's what we doing over here. Dare to dream. Force yourself to dream. When you're fearful of something, you get stuck in a place and you can't get out of that place. So you get backed into a corner. But if you dream, the walls come off. If you're afraid of snakes, have you ever been around a snake? Are all snakes bad, or you think all of them are anaconda and out here looking to bite Ice Cube and J-Lo? Probably not. I get it. I don't like snakes. I can't stand bugs. I don't like rodents and little creepy crawlies and shit. I get it. And I'm not getting ready to go hang out with them and pet them and call my pet rat Ben. None of that. But you also have to be able to see past those limitations. There needs to be a process to your healing. If that's praying, if that's meditating, if that's therapy, get some of that. And yes, I know. I've been acting like, I'm on that stuff and I need to call my therapist, which I do. But trust your process, whatever it is that you need. If you need to go spend some time in the gym and hit the bag or, run 17 miles, do what you gotta do. And lean on others. Get yourself a support group. You're not alone. You don't have to do this alone. My people who know me know I don't do scary movies. They don't try to constantly push me to watch scary movies. Now, they will try to push me out of my comfort zone. Like Centel got me to watch Get Out because Get Out wasn't a scary movie. And he's right, it wasn't. But he respected my wish enough that if I said, no, leave me alone, I ain't watching it, he'd let it go. But I relented, and he was right. It's not it's not a horror movie. Situations in it scary, but it's not a horror movie. I chose to go watch Sinners. Part of that was Ryan Coogler. I just think he's one of the greatest directors of our time. And Michael B. Jordan, and when those two get together, they create magic. He did well with Jonathan Majors. Well, actually, it's Michael B. Jordan, but And then, you know, RIP to Chadwick Boseman, that they created magic. So I just thought that this might be magical, and it was. And even though it had horror elements in it, there was definitely some horror in it. A couple jump scares. It's not a horror movie, not to me. It wasn't. I don't know what to tell you to do about letting fear overtake and cost you your peace. But that's exactly what it does. When you let fear overtake your life, it costs you your peace. And everybody thinks that they're afraid of, I don't know, black people, thugs, terrorists, immigrants, old people, young people, YNs. Hell, I'm afraid of YNs. Damn. Anyway, monsters. As if monsters was a real thing, but people are afraid of them. You're afraid of the situations that you see in the movies there where the monster's gonna pop out. And it probably is not gonna be a monster at all. It's probably gonna be a, what do they call it? An unhoused person. Okay. But why do you let yourself get like that? These are all situations. If you know, can't deal with that, then all of that contributes to you not being able to attain peace. At the end of the day, that's all that's important, is your peace. This is Rakai Steed, Noob from the Ville. Make sure that you like, share this video as much as possible. I want some comments. I know I was a little off my rocker today. I know somebody's like, you know, typing in the comments right now, did you take your meds today? No. Yes. See? Did you get the answer? Don't worry. I'm scratching my head. It means I need to wash it and take these braids now. You know what? I usually edit the hell out of these and take out all. I think I'm gonna leave all this shit in. I don't think I'm gonna edit none of this. I'm gonna leave it all in. It is what it is. I'm gonna take a few parts out. I think my son called me in the middle. I'm gonna take that out, but the rest of the shit I'm leaving in. This is my process. And even though it seems simple and I make usually a 15-minute video, shit takes me 40 damn minutes to make a 15-minute video. Because my mind is everywhere. I'm trying to see this, that meditation. That's why it's important. You gotta calm your mind. And I don't even have ADHD, I don't think. I don't know. But I'll be all over the place. Anyway, if for whatever reason you have subscribed, hit the button, subscribe. I'm usually not like this, and if this is your first video with me, I apologize. If this is what you like, put that in the comments, let me know, and maybe I'll do some more of that, but this is not how I normally am. So watch some other videos, you get a better sense of, and then stick around. Remember, every video we watch, we use this, but at the end of the day, it's really all about this.